All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How's yeah. Okay, we see attendees streaming in. All right. We have a couple of very special guests tonight. Okay, let's hope everybody had dinner, right? And we are going to start within the next 2 minutes, and we are still seeing attendees coming in. Okay. Awesome. Hope everybody is doing well. Okay. Okay, I don't like the awkward silence. Okay, so guys, good evening. Thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions, please put it into the Q&A section below, okay? All right, so I think today's webinar is going to be very special. So usually when we do webinars, right, of course, Investing Note is the investment community, right? But today it's about the stories and the highlights of veteran stockbrokers, right? Okay, we're going to start in the next minute. Let me share my screen. Awesome. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. All right. Okay. 801. Okay, let's start, right? Oops. Okay, good evening, everybody. Ethan here from Investing Note, right? So thank you everybody for joining us for this, webinar, which is actually this fireside chat with stockbroking veterans, right? So stockbroking veterans include Andy, Robin, and Thomas, right? And of course, we have Lisa, who's our the executive director at Phillip Capital. So this is a very interesting webinar where we get these veteran stockbrokers. You probably hear of them somewhere or another, in previous seminars, webinars, and I would say that they are pretty much the heavyweights in this industry. All right. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, so let me do a quick introduction of these three gentlemen here, right? Of course, we have Mr. Andy Yew, who is actually a portfolio manager at Phillip Capital. Andy, you can say hi.
Hey, hi everyone.
Yeah, so I think many years ago, I've seen Andy at many fairs and investment fairs and seminars lah. So he is probably someone that a lot of the audiences have known as well, right? Next, we have Mr. Robin Ho, Principal Investment Specialist at Phillip Capital. Of course,
hi everyone.
Everybody knows Robin Ho. So Robin Ho has also, appeared in a lot of the seminars and SGX webinars as well. Yeah, so he's actually no stranger. Third, we have Mr. Thomas Ng, Principal Trading Representative at Phillip Capital.
Hello, everybody.
Thomas, you want to say hi?
Hello.
Right, okay.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, so I know Thomas a couple of years ago, and Thomas was really popular as well. I think I've probably seen a couple of webinars back then, right? So I think with these three gentlemen, right, their investment and in trading experience, right, probably combined more than 50 years, right? That's a long time, and they've probably seen the ups and downs of the market, right? So, okay, for the purpose of today's webinar, your Q&As, please don't ask them about stocks, what stock to buy are they? So we will not talk about those kind of things, right? You can ask them about, what are the career highlights and all that kind of thing, but which we will go through later. So without further ado, let's move on, right? So, of course, the theme is the stockbroking industry. So I think over the last 10 and 15 to 20 years, right, the stockbroking industry actually, you probably would have known that, it has changed, right? But I think the more important question is, how has it changed and what is the new era? But in order to understand we're actually looking at getting the understanding what has changed, and what better way to actually ask these three veterans in this industry, right? So I think the very first question we will look at as let's take a trip down to memory lane. How did each of you gentlemen actually get started? All right, maybe I would get Mr. Robin Ho to spearhead this. We'd like to hear your story.
Thank you, Ethan. So
Yeah.
I am probably the oldest member here, as you can see by my looks. Okay,
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Okay, and I joined the industry pretty late. All right, so I was almost going to retire from the Navy, and I decided to come into stockbroking. So basically, I spent 23 years in the Navy, and then I thought I had to leave. Okay, and I joined Kim Eng's in 2001, and in 2004 I decided to come over to Philips, at that time in 2004, when I told my wife, I'm going to be a full-time trader, I'm going to join Kim Eng. It's like everybody is jumping, worried, because they are thinking, well, I'm the only sole breadwinner, fit, have 6 mouths to feed, and how am I going to do it without a job? All right. So, but I had a purpose in mind, all right, of what I really want to do. And what I really want to do is to become a full-time trader. And, ever since it started in 2004, I've never regretted, I come into this industry, still surviving, all right, and having burned the bridge, for after so long. So, I just remember that, when I first started trading in 1993, commission was very high, 1%, impossible to trade. All right, and guess what? In year 2000, all right, commissions start coming down, and I decide, boy, this is the right time to get in, because the cost of trading. And you guys who are on the program, let me tell you, you are a privileged group, all right? The ground is absolutely fertile for you to come in, whether to do stockbroking, whether to do financial advisor, or trading, or full-time trading, all right? So, I have, over the last 10 years, trained hundreds of people to trade full-time, and today they are making a living from trading stocks, and making a career out of stockbroking too. All right, thank you very much.
Awesome. So I think prior to that, you also traded before you joined the industry, lah.
Oh yes, yeah. I
Awesome.
traded long before I joined the industry.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Robin. So perhaps maybe Thomas can go next. What's your story?
Okay, sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Thomas, the principal trading rep with Philips Securities for more than 18 years. So I joined Philips Securities in 2003. That was just right after one Iraq war and the SARS crisis. So my 18 years here in Philips, in my opinion, has been an incredible process of self-discovery. What do I mean by that? I mean, when I joined in 2003, right, everybody who joins the stockbroking industry only want to do one thing: make money from the stock market, isn't it? Right? So, right. After a few years, I found that I have a deeper passion. And the passion is to unravel the mysteries of the stock market. Not just making money, but you want to find out how the industry works, how it clicks, how does the world of penny stock works, or even how does the major cycle turns. So I started to realize I have this deep passion to want to find out more. And then we move on, and a few more years down the road, I start to realize that I have a flair for client engagement or client servicing, right? So in my mind is that I have a very good read on the market. I'm very good in client servicing, client engagement. I start to decide to pivot myself towards servicing ultra high net worth clients. And that has been the journey till now. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Interesting. Thanks, Thomas, for sharing.
Thank you.
So what about you, Andy?
Okay, so I started. I joined Philip in 2010. So before that, I'm like an oil and gas technician. So my job is really boring. So I'm looking for like some change. So one day I watched this movie called Pursuit of Happiness. Okay.
I watched that too.
Will Smith.
Then,
Will Smith.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then okay. So basically, I can say that Will Smith actually changed my life. So after watching that movie, I say, maybe I want to become.
Yeah, he was a broker.
Yeah, I want to be a stockbroker. Finally, I have like some like dream to go and pursue. Okay, so I decided to, before that I was like already trading. Just that I thought that maybe I'm just trade and continue to work until 60 years old. But after like having the idea of becoming a stockbroker, I kind of find out more about how to become a stockbroker. So, and then after that, about 1 year later, I joined Philip in 2010, and right now it's about 11 years. So from a stockbroker, I also progressed to become a portfolio manager. Yeah.
Wow, incredible story from these three gentlemen. I think you guys started early, and I think you guys also had a lot of passion. I can see. That's why you guys you became veterans after a certain period of time, right? Okay, let's go on to the next question, right? What I would like to ask next is, and probably on audience's mind is, what was trading like back then, right? So perhaps maybe Robin can share a bit.
All right. So, I remember that I was trading in the 1993s, and if you have read my story on the newspapers, I actually made like $300,000 in 12 months during the 1993. Wow. And that was the biggest bull run in the Singapore-Malaysia history, and it's called the Clock Bull Run. All right. So I started with my salary like $3,000. I turned it to $300,000. And then, boy, like all the very common story you hear, a novice guy, like me, like that, I hit. It was a lot of luck for me, and like within 2 weeks, I lost $500,000. All right. So can you imagine? I had a family, 30 years old, and I was in debt $200,000. Okay. I mean, I won't want to bore you with the rest of the story, but I went into a dark age in my life. Okay. And, back then, trading, was not easy. Like today, you just go to the computer, enter your password, press a couple of buttons, buy and sell. It's under your fingertip. So in those days, I need to call the broker. All right. I need to pick up a phone, call the broker. And guess what? In a bull market, the broker will not pick up your phone, all right, because she has a limit, all right, she has got a credit limit, all right, and she cannot use our credit limit. So she'll use it for her friends and for herself to trade to make the money. And when the market is quiet, she puts back the phone, and that's where you can call her again. All right. So, I remember one time, I was so desperate, from my office in MINDEF, right? I took a taxi down all the way to Philip Security at Pidemco. And, and in those days, I think Lisa remember, right? Pidemco was at a glass window, and my broker was there. I was begging at the glass window and calling my broker, hey, come out, leave out the phone. I need to buy some stocks. All right. So, so those were the days, right? Really. But today, I guess, the playing field is a lot level. You get your own trading limit, all right, according to, how much you are worth. Everybody gets, the broker cannot keep the trading limit to himself. All right. So I think that's trading back then. Yeah.
Wow, that was good to know. Wow. I've never heard of that. I think it's the first time I'll be hearing this as well. All right, Thomas, how about you?
Okay, I just now mentioned I joined in 2003 I think life back then was much simpler.
But it was the other pandemic, right? The SARS pandemic, right?
That's right. So that was at the cusp of almost a new bull market, right? And in 2008. So at the time, the dealing room, if I recall, I just joined, was much more crowded, definitely, and much more noisier than now. And then those days, we were using SESOP to key in the trades. Now we have our own poem system that we can use almost anywhere. And I was saying that life was much simpler back then because we only had to look at Singapore companies, mostly Singapore companies, and even the events are Sing-centric events. I mean, occasionally you may take a look at the US futures and how Hang Seng is doing, but by and large, life was good. It was just Singapore market. Yeah. So that was then.
I see. So I mean, just to further understand a little bit more. So at that time, a lot of people didn't trade the US or the Hong Kong markets, is it?
Not at all.
So it's very focused, Singapore focused, lah.
That's right. Occasionally, you might have some more, more sophisticated investor, your clients that may trade in the Hong Kong market, but by and large, no, it's mostly in Sing.
Understand. Okay, that was a great insight. I think right now, the shift is towards the US and the Hong Kong markets.
Yeah,
where,
global markets.
Correct, global, right? So I think the next question is actually, let's talk about the changing in the needs of the client. So I think you guys brought up a good point that a lot of Singaporeans last time, 20, 30 years ago, or looking at the Singapore market, right? So let's delve deeper. So I'd like to ask, how has the average client evolved over the years for you guys? So maybe Andy?
Yep. Okay. So clients become more tech savvy. So last time you have like many people calling you, and now you have like not many. Okay. So probably they have like one or two person will be calling you. So the rest, like hundreds of them or thousands of them, right, will be doing it over the mobile apps. Yeah. So the buy, the sell, the settlements, and all that, they will all like settle by themselves. Okay. So and nowadays, like people tend to use more of a CFD and margins, cash plus account, all this. So people are more like a risk taker right now. I'll say that. Okay, so as compared to last time, yeah, but there's a lot of shift from from cash account, from this cash management account. People trade contra, but nowadays mostly they cash upfront. Okay, they have cash upfront. They do less contra. That's what I see.
Could it also mean that the client is more affluent?
Not totally. Okay, not totally. Some, yes, more affluent, but like for some like new clients, they also like they'll prefer the cash upfront kind of.
How about you, Thomas? What have you seen?
Okay, the clients, yes, the clients have changed over the years. Most of the clients now are more well-read or well-versed in the financial jargon. So when we try to explain valuations or what, they have a better idea, even in technical analysis. This is probably due to the proliferation of all these financial blogs that's freely available on the internet. Yeah, so that there is this shift, and they start to know, what good questions to ask. That's one. Now, the second thing is that the type of investment choices, even within the equity space, right, has I would say has expanded in that sense. In the sense of they're going global. Their clients trading the three core markets: US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Yeah, with the occasional guys going into London, Tokyo, Australia. Yeah, this is the second thing. Now, the third one within the equity space, right? The clients also tend to ask more about other asset classes. So we have commodity-related equities or commodity-related stocks, crypto-related stocks in the US, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so the asset classes has also expanded. Yeah.
Wow. So I think, this is the generation we are in. I would say that clients have definitely more choices.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a feedback loop. That's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's more choices,
Cool.
and the clients start to find out more, and it goes around. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I think right now we are, as you put forth, in an age of digitalization and the technology changes and everything, and also the rise of social media, like you mentioned earlier, investment blogs and all this kind of things. So the next key question is, how do stockbrokers like yourself do the adaptations, right? So could you share with us, perhaps Robin and Thomas? Thomas, you can go first.
Okay. So I want to say the world is your oyster. Go claim it, right? So this social media thing, you have to embrace it. My point is very simple. A few years ago, when I started out my presence in social media, I would say maybe I have some of this first mover advantage. Now today, if you don't have a social media presence, then you're probably the odd one out, right? When a client refers you to another of his friend, it'll be nice if he can just give him my link and say, hey, let's check out Thomas and see what is he made of, in that sense. So the idea is that, yeah, we have to embrace it.
Yeah, I realize you have a website as well.
Yeah, quite a few things, websites, telegrams, what have you, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've seen
we
you
have
on
to be
LinkedIn as
everywhere.
well.
We have to
Yeah.
be everywhere. Yeah.
Awesome. How about yourself, Robin?
Okay, so being the oldest in the group, right? You guys know that I started off in the so-called dinosaur age, all right? So, and in those days, you talk to your friends using the handphone was like a taiko tai, right? It's so big. And I think I had the privilege to see the world transform from a totally digital age to a digital age today. All right. And I remember when I first joined the industry, most remisers, most stockbrokers, they don't have a lot of clients because there's no way to get those clients. All right. And the only way they could get clients are, most of them join with their family and their friends as clients. And the minute they use those clients up, they will be trading a lot on their own account. All right. So and a lot of these people, they come, and they even bust their account even before they can make stockbroking their career. All right. So in those days, it was a lot like kampong style marketing. All right. Like everything is like one-to-one talk. You visit their home and everything else. I remember when I first started booking, I had to carry the photostating machine to my client's house.
Oh my God.
All right. Photostat his ICs because he would never want to go down and photostat anything for me. I made everything ready for him. All right. And today, it's one link. All right. Just go to that link, key in your particulars, and there you are. You start an account. All right. And remember I was in Kim Eng. All right. So in Kim Eng, that time we haven't transited. So when I first came to Philips, right, like poems was like something, so amazing to me. It was like a total transformation for me. And Poem was back then a pioneer online trading platform. And for the first time, all right, when I get in clients, I don't have to talk to them anymore. They were all on their own. They were all punching, the keyboard themselves. Can you imagine the kind of leverage, right, that you enjoy through automation? For the first time, I really felt, automation can give you so much leverage. And then, of course, one of the other things that I enjoyed in Philips was the management was very supportive in me starting a blog. All right. So in those days, it's hard because of very strict compliance we have in Singapore. It's very tough to even start a multimedia platform on your own. So I decided to start a blog. I remember I had to go through so many levels to get approval to start a blog. And every time I blog something, the compliance will check and say can or cannot. All right, my trading ideas. Okay, but today, and I can understand that because for the management to allow us, all right, to go and blog our ideas, to go on the Facebook. They also need infrastructure to govern and to manage all this, all this communications, all right, that you have with the public, all right. So that was something that I appreciate about Philips, all right. They give me a chance to blog, and now I have a Facebook, that I share my trading ideas every day. All right, and yes, in 2 years, you have grown to 5,000 people. All right,
Wow.
So I experienced the power of of social media, and and I think there's so much more you can do with it. All right, okay, you too.
Awesome. I think it's good to know that you have experienced the full transition from a photostat machine to a handphone right now. It's a very big transition. Wow, those were the days. Okay, I think the next question, right, we would like to ask is actually, I think both Andy and Robin, you guys have more than one license. I think Phillip Capital is one of the financial institutions we actually help their stockbrokers to actually get more than one license. So tell us, how has having more than one license actually shaped your career? Perhaps Andy, you want to go first?
Okay, so I started as a stockbroker. So the good thing about in Philip, right? Philip always gives us the direction. So after that, they have this team. So I partner with my another stockbroker, and then I partner with another financial directors to have insurance license and stockbroking license. And me myself become we become a team. So right now, right, we have our own branch. Okay, that means we run our own branch, and in this branch, right, we have the insurance license, the GA license, the GI license, the futures forex license, portfolio manager license. So typically we can do almost everything from unit trust, insurance, bonds, CFD, forex futures. All these, we can do all this because we have all the license. Yeah. So what I do this, why do we want to have multiple license is it is not easy to get clients, right? Okay, so imagine if you only have one license, right? You have to keep finding a lot of clients. Okay, but if you can have multiple license, you can offer them multiple products, okay, according to their needs. Then they don't have to go everywhere to find each and everything. Yeah, so having this one license actually will give our clients more benefits, basically.
Practically, you're the one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Robin?
Okay, so my specialization and my passion is trading and generating trading ideas. All right. So if you have been following my Facebook and my blog, I love to be calling, predicting prices of where stocks will go, indices will go, commodity will go. And so that's my primary job. I've done it for so long, and I trade, I have a big portfolio trading myself for so many years, and that's how I've been surviving in the market. And I have a team that help me run the business. So I don't run the business. My job is to help people make money. All right, identify good trading ideas. Okay, and I've been in the industry for 20 years, in Philips 17 years, and I sit amongst my colleagues here. Many of them FAs. All right, they're always asking me, why don't you take the FA license? You got such big following. All right, you say you're gonna make, you're gonna have a lot of clients. Have a lot of business coming in if you become an FA. Take the first move. But I resisted it for many years. All right. And the reason why I resisted it was because I always have this fear, right, that if I go into FA, it will take away my time from, generating trading ideas, communicating trading ideas to my clients. But lo and behold, I decided to take a step of faith, all right, to go into the world of FAs. And I'm in this for about a year already. And I found that, those fears were quite unfounded. All right, I still could do what I'm doing now. And what I found out really was that, all the trading ideas that I have, that I generate for my clients there, I feel that there's a lot of demand for those when you translate those trading ideas into unit trust. All right, unit trust. So, for example, I give you a good example. Lately we have this inflation is a very hot topic, right? So, I beginning of the year, I sold the inflation team, all right? So we bought into commodity index, we bought into commodities, any unit trust that deals with commodities. And I found that there's a lot of demand for it. There's a lot of people that don't want to be watching the market day to day. They don't want to be glued on the screen. They just want to park the money there and take a longer term horizon view. All right. So there is a big market out there, and I will encourage, all right, many of you out there who are just hanging on, all right, to take up, like me, take a step of faith, and that there's a lot of business to be done out there. All right, Ethan.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Robin, for sharing. I think a very good point there. So what we have seen from our own community, right? Investing Note as a community, right, is that some of these community members, of course, they are active traders, but of course, they don't put all their money in one basket, which is trading. I think ultimately, you still need to have insurance. You still need to have your wealth management products. That is why the client, like earlier, Thomas and Robin, you actually brought up as well. The client is actually very dynamic, and they have different needs, right? So actually, maybe it's the needs that has evolved over time as well, right? So I think very important points right there. So I think the next question we got is that, what's one advice from all you veterans and gentlemen that you would give to people who are actually interested to join this industry? Perhaps Andy, you can go first.
Okay. So so basically I would say that in this industry, right, all you really need is to have the burning desire. Yeah. So if you you don't have the passion for like investment or trading, right, then of course it's not easy lah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, if you have the burning desire, you're like example, like Thomas is saying, hey, you're coming here to have a self-discovery, to bust all the myth, right? Yeah, that's one very important point to first you have to have burning desire to join this. And then the second thing is hard work. So if you're willing to work very, very hard, yeah, there will be good returns on your efforts. Okay, everything else is actually learnable. Okay, so everything else is learnable. So I came in without experience. I don't came from a very well-to-do family. Okay, so I don't have good networks. All my friends is from oil and gas, industry. Half of them, they are not interested in investment. So I didn't came with banks experience and all that. So yeah, so everything is learnable. So all the social media marketing, the finance stuff, yeah, even quantitative analysis, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, everything is learnable. So yeah, so yeah, that's what I think.
All right, thanks Andy for sharing. How about you, Thomas? What's
For
one
me,
advice you would give?
I guess everybody should have this growth mindset, who's willing to try to learn and explore new things. Yeah, I think that's the basic thing. It doesn't matter whether you're in this industry or in another industry. You have a growth mindset. I think that will bring you far. Yeah. And also be humble. Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas. I totally agree. How about you, Robin? Any word of advice for audiences who are actually interested in joining the industry?
All right. Okay. So my history, I all I know how to do all my life was to fight learn how to fight a war, all right? And I have to transit from, so I have been like, in my career, just learning warfares and, to come to, in industry like this is totally new to me. And, and I don't know what to do, it's like, it's like when I leave the Navy, it is a bridge, right? That, that has been removed to me. There's no turning back already. All right. So that it's not that I cross the bridge is still there. I still can walk back. All right. So for the Navy, all right, it's a skill that, is not usable after you retire or after you leave. All right. So it's something that, and I think it's something that all of us, any one of us who wants to come to industry should realize that when you join the industry, you are an entrepreneur, you are sole proprietor, and you're on your own, all right? You're on your own. You need to know what's your purpose coming into the industry. You need to possess the right passion, drive, and determination. All right, that's it.
All right, thanks Robin for sharing. Thanks Andy, Robin, and Thomas for sharing. So I think all of the advisors actually, they have their own points, and I think all of them make sense as well, right? So the next question is, let's draw back to the whole idea of, how they sort of change careers, especially for Andy and Robin. So Andy was from oil and gas industry, and Robin was previously from the Navy. And what makes Phillip Capital so different and from other financial institutions, right? And how are you guys, still here, right? So I think right now I'll pass the time over to Lisa, who is the executive director at Phillip Capital, to actually share more about how Phillip Capital is different from all the other financial institutions. Lisa.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Very inspiring sharing from Robin, Andy, and Thomas. In fact, I thought I don't have to share because they have actually said everything in detail. Just want to add on a few things that hearing what they've shared. By the way, I stayed the longest in Phillip. This is my 24th years in Phillip.
Awesome.
By the way, I started at the age of 10. So I'm still very young. So whatever Robin has related to Pidemco office, people go to the room to watch a big screen when last time, and I remember when I joined Phillip in 1997, even though I'm a credit officer supposed to approve limit, I think I know where Robin is coming from. You can't even get to your brokers. During the hot market, I remember I only managed to go to the washroom once a day. You can't even, and then you almost have to throw the phone, because you have to grant trading limit and things like that. So those were the days, but really with internet, with the development, really things have changed so much. Consumer getting educated, with access of information, everything is like what the rest have said, is a breeze. Now you want to get into trading, the accessibility, the global markets and things like that. And I also like what they mentioned about entrepreneurship. I think is really, even though I'm a corporate staff, but I really look at my career in Phillip is also like an entrepreneur. And that's where Thomas also mentioned the growth mindset and things like that. I guess through that few slides, I also grow together with Phillip from a single company, single product, single channel company, which is only stockbrokers and stocks, going beyond that to have multiple product, including, like they mentioned, unit trust, CFD, managed accounts, insurance, futures, and things like that. And because of that, we also have multiple channels, like they mentioned, stockbrokers, portfolio managers, FA. But like say, as long as the mission is really here to serve our clients, I think we have a place under the sun. So okay, maybe I'll just go through a few slides that I'll just share with you. A very quick one, like say when I joined Phillip, I remember I'm probably one of the 20 graduates out of the 120 staff. So, and everybody bet that I will only stay 3 months. And here I am 24 years in the company, because then the stockbrokers is quite a different industry. But really from there, we have gone beyond that. Even within the Singapore office, we have 800 staff right now from 120. And we really have gone beyond Singapore, really through the 15 networks that we have. Okay, so next. So a quick one. So these are some of the data that we have. Global presence in 15 countries, like the rest have mentioned. Customers, clients now really have access to 26 stock exchanges. Really from 20 years ago or 30 years ago, where everybody is only looking at Singapore market. Obviously now trading access is so possible. Trading costs have come down. Information is in access. So there's no problem for client to trade US market, Hong Kong market, or Japanese market. Then funds and things like that. So these are the products that we have, because the whole idea is we want to be a supermarket. We want to give customer choice, and we want to give our partners, which is people like Andy, Robin, and Thomas, choices as well in order to serve their customers. Okay, next. I want to give a bit of landscape of Singapore. Like Chairman mentioned, we are all very thankful. To be fair, I think we are really thankful that we are in a good industry. In fact, while we see so many people suffer from COVID and things like that, so financial industry, the newspaper have reported we are really one of the industry that is in positive growth versus there are many industries. So we are thankful and things like that. And of course, with things happening around the world, you can see that Singapore really become a very sweet spot for people to park their assets. So Singapore as a wealth management center is definitely thriving. And we hope to be able to participate in that, because as more overseas customers want to invest or park their accounts in Singapore, that's where we also want to join in the growth to serve the client. As you can see, this is a chart on the AUM growth in Singapore, both advisory and discretionary over the last 6-7 years. Okay, next. Okay, back to, I think I saw 2 or 3 questions from the Q&A. Ethan, I don't know, maybe I can just share in general first. I guess for Philip, also very thankful, very appreciative to the 3 of them who shared that how Philip has created this platform for them and to grow and continue to grow. And like I say, our mission is always go in line with the market, go in line with the changing consumer needs. We just go along with that. I always remember there was one article I read about fintech. You know, everybody claimed they're fintech. Everybody claimed they have robo-advisor and whatever. Then this writer was saying, who will succeed? He said, I don't know. But I only can say one thing. The one that is closest to the client will definitely survive in the market, right? Because now we are client-centric oriented. So I guess over here, the product that we build, whether we develop ourselves or we even take for third-party distribution, is all really to create this supermarket to offer client choices. And even for Andy, Robin, and Thomas, they have an option whether they just want to transact for client, they want to advise for client. Like what Andy did is I also provide discretionary portfolio. And to me, this has to do with the trust continuum. And that's why we have to build that way. Because if client don't know you well, I call you to transact. If client know you a bit better, have confidence in you, I give you money to advise. And when you have earned more trust from the client, client will say, I give you full discretion to decide what to buy and sell for me. And we felt that this is a journey that we also partnering with our clients and with our business partner like Andy, Thomas, and Robin. In this whole journey, we built this journey of transaction, advisory, and discretionary journey with them. Okay, next. We talk about entrepreneur, no. They talk about stockbroking. Andy also mentioned financial advisory. Robbie also mentioned financial advisory. Then obviously Andy moved on to be portfolio manager. So these are the choices that we provide. And like I said, it must start with your passion first. Of course, start with what you know, what you're good at. Then along the way, build your career together with your client, because you tend to orientate your career also depending on the client base that you're serving and the client journey as you go with them. I mean, that's how the way I look at it. I'm sure in their whole growth journey in Philip, they also move along with the customer needs and the customer profile. Okay, next. Okay, so somebody asked about the source of income. Obviously, if you do transaction, it's obviously commission based. If you do advisory and discretionary, then you can charge on an advisory basis, and a client are willing to pay for you. Why I feel that if you ask me, my belief in this career, and Philip believe in this career, is we always provide high tech and high touch. If you talk about fintech, you talk about disruption. There's so much technology can disrupt, but we also have to understand, I think they have also mentioned, in the world of access, there are so many information overload. There is a role for professional in this time and age. Why? Because in the world of access, curation is important. And the reason why Andy, Thomas, and Robin is so successful is because they are able to curate the product. They are able to curate the solutioning so that they can help client to manage the information overload, or in the world of access. So because of that, like say, client, they are also reasonable. That's why they are willing to pay recurring fee for the ongoing service or advice that they dispense. Okay, next. Okay, lastly, I just want to mention a bit on the Philip ecosystem. We are very clear, I think here and there, Thomas, they'll touch about social media, talk about platform and things like that. So we are very clear that even in our support system for them, branding is important, product is important. We will bring in product that where the market dictates, where the customer needs it and things like that. Obviously, training is important. We are in financial industry, knowledge. And I like what Andy said. Actually, a lot of things is learnable. You must have the right attitude. There's nothing that we can't learn. There's, if you have that passion for it. Then, of course, platform. Can't remember who talked about, Robin talked about block social media. We had a big fight with compliance. Compliance even asked me, can I have 0 error on social media? And I was so upset. I tell them, you want to have 0 error, is don't do. Then you got no error. So, okay lah. But anyway, those are the past, but things have improved. We embrace the changes. So I think social media is definitely necessary for client engagement and things like that. Of course, we also have fun. So we also have Rec Club in between. And this COVID has really also made us reflect that in this world, it's not only the tangible asset that's important, but intangible assets is much appreciated during this COVID, right? Because we are so used of chasing after, I don't know, fame, money, or whatever. But when COVID comes, then people start to appreciate all the intangibles. You call it the relationship, the connection, you know, that we often miss when our life is so busy. So I guess this is part of the reflection as well. Lini, anything else? So basically, this is the team that is here. James and Lini is with me here together with Andy, Robin, and Thomas. So I guess this is what I have to share, Ethan. Probably back to you.
All right, thanks, Lisa, for sharing. I think I have to agree that Philip as ecosystem is very robust, and there is a lot of training provided and a lot of support and resources from the company to actually help people who are, especially when they are new in the industry, right? And I think the other thing that you mentioned is that there's this continuum where there is possible transitions from being a stockbroker, like for Andy's case, to be a branch manager and also a portfolio manager. I think that is something unheard of in other financial institutions, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right? Branch franchise owner. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got that.
Nicer name.
Yeah. So I think that is you have done so many in just a span of 10 years.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very interesting career path, right?
I think it's
probably
more
worth considering.
I think it's more of an experience. Yeah, it's more of experience. So I want to have the experience of becoming a stockbroker. I want to have the experience of owning a branch? How does it feels like? What's there to take care of? Yeah. So every path, there's definitely like some risk, somewhere, right? Every path there's some risk somewhere. So when I become a portfolio manager, I also have to like change my license from a stockbroker to become a portfolio manager. So there's always some risk, but I'm looking at what's the experience of being in this role. Yeah. So to me, it's about the journey. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Andy.
In the industry, people always question, hey, Philip, why are you spending money to open up branches? As you know, we have about 14, 15 branches. And really depending on what kind of mindset you're looking at it, right? For us, we always feel that we want to be, anyway, our tagline is your partner in finance. We want to be the financial doctor in the neighborhood. So having branches is really beyond just P&L, what is the return, that you are looking at, is really being accessible. Because I always remember every time a crisis comes, customer will say, I always see, oh, Philip's still there. No? Okay, you see the branch still there means Philip still. So it is really beyond just dollar and cents. It's really the comfort, is really providing the accessibility and things like that, so that it really provides the convenience and comfort to the customers who deal with us.
Thanks for sharing. I think there's one question from the audience, right? So, is there any license that they have to take in order to be a broker? It's open to the floor. Anybody can advise?
Okay, if you ask me to join the financial industry, even for us as a core staff, we are trained to pass all the exams. Even let's say, assuming we don't take license, because knowledge is so important, right? Financial industry is heavily regulated. Passing exam, no need to talk, is a must. But definitely not easy. I mean, not difficult. If you really put your heart and soul, in fact, like say we do provide notes and whatever. In fact, we have a recent portfolio manager. He's a PhD holder. He got to take 3 times, then he passed. But like say, you will sure get there if you really have the intention. And I don't think all this entry exam is to kill the people, right? They just need to have certain competency for someone to knowledge for this person to gain before the person come to the industry. The fact that there are, I don't know, all in all, if you include all salespeople, let's say from the banks, insurance industry, stockbrokers, I roughly calculated there should be about 30,000 in the marketplace, including the banks. So if all these people can pass exam and join industry, I don't see why is it difficult if you have the passion.
Awesome. So you got the question answered, Mr. Anonymous. Okay, another question is, will Phillip Capital provide trainings and the resources? What are those resources that Phillip Capital can provide for newcomers?
Lini, you want to go to the Fast Start program? Actually, we do, like say for Phillip, you can see that part of our DNA is client education. The fact that you see a lot of Robin, you see a lot of Andy, you see a lot of Thomas, I would say they are all also grow with the company. And this mission never changed. Education is always key. We always believe education is important, whether it's client education or even educating our partners. So we do provide quite a lot of training, because only when you have that competency, then you can advise the client. And in fact, we also do a lot of client webinar, because we really want client to be educated, to be well informed before they make any decision. I mean, the fact that we are 46 years in Singapore, I mean, we also take pride that you also say something, right? Of course, we wouldn't be here without the support of our clients and our sales force. So training is not an issue. We were definitely part of our DNA.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Lisa, for sharing. Okay, there's another question by Mr. Sam So. Any age restriction to join? I'm assuming 18 years old.
Robin, I don't think Robin even thinking of retiring, right? He probably looking at stunned at this question. If Robin not thinking of retirement and he probably thinking another 30 years to go, so there's no age restriction, you can come in anytime. Yeah, there's no age restriction really. Because it's an entrepreneurial career, right? If you're a businessman, there's no entry. And if you're a businessman, to you really working, doing what you like, you're not constrained by time, right? I'm sure Andy, they all will have, Thomas will alluded to it, because you really enjoy every moment that you have.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Lisa. Okay, I think there's another question for you. So actually, you're one of the successful women, with more than 20 years of experience in finance, right? And in your opinion and experience, what are the 3 things can be done by individuals or our companies to actually support this so-called women in finance movement? Do you have any opinions on that?
This is an out of scope question.
But I think it's interesting, yeah, from your experience. Yeah.
Okay, my personal view. Okay, first, I don't say I'm successful, definitely, but I'm enjoying. I'm the same league as Robin, Andy, and Thomas. We are enjoying every bit of our day in Philip, doing what we like to do. If you ask me the question about women, and I would say a few things. First, I also remembered Chairman told me 20 years ago, he said in 50 years time, women will overtake men. I was like, huh? How can he know the answer in 50 years time? So obviously curious, right? And doubtful, right? I asked him, Mr. Lim, why do you say that? And it has to do with how the world has developed. Because the world, even our relationship with client, you will realize that 20 years ago, when as a professional, you talk to client, it's a top-down kind of approach. But that has leveled the playing field. Now we talk to our client, it's like partners, right? So I think the world has moved from hierarchy to network. And network needs a lot of teamwork, collaboration. And in my view, and like Chairman mentioned, women are better as team player. That's one. That's the strong message that I get. But of course, we are still not there. But definitely, if it's a network play, women are team players, so they probably will have a better chance of survive in the corporate world. Secondly, with this COVID, and a lot of time women are handicapped because of children. Like I even have 2 kids, right? So it's quite tough to cope studying, working, and then taking care of children. And even at times, I feel so guilty that I'm not doing my part as a mother. So that was stuck. It will strike people like us. But with this COVID and with this work from anywhere or a balanced approach, work from home, work from office is doable. I think that is quite a conducive environment for women. So I will see that probably there will be more chance for women to play a more active role in the corporate side. That's how I look at it. And no difference, right? Like say we benefit from this whole COVID. The lucky ones is because in our job, in our career, like Robin was saying, now you don't need to bring your copier to the client. Client want to open account, snap a picture, send through the account opening form, then that's it. You want to talk to client, you can have webinar, talk to client. You want client to sign form, you also can sign on the Zoom, so it's so much easier now. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa, for sharing. So, okay, we have one final question for Mr. KY Tan. So I'll try to word it, right? So what is the future prospect of the growth and development in Malaysia? Because if he's interested in sales and marketing career here, so let's assume Mr. KY Tan is a Malaysian, but he's maybe based in Singapore and he's maybe looking to switch careers in here. So are you guys, open to, Malaysians?
I have to answer. I'm a Malaysian.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Andy is a Malaysian.
I think
wow, you got your answer, Mr. KY Tan.
So basically, I think the skill set that you pick up along the journey, right? Okay, like nowadays we do like presentation, all these sales, presentation, leadership is universal skills. Okay, it's universal skills. So the thing is, when you have the skills of an entrepreneur, that means if there's a drought, you must find water, that kind of like entrepreneur kind of skills, right? You can survive anywhere, right? Yeah. So, and again, we are in this industry. We are talking about like Singapore stocks, Malaysia stocks, Hong Kong stocks, China stocks, US stocks. So when you learn the skills, when you learn about different markets, you know, all these are with you for the rest of your life. The knowledge is with you for the rest of your life. So, so I would say that, you know, sales or marketing is just a small part of the entrepreneur skills. Okay, you still need to have like leaderships. You still need to have like, you know, conversational skills, you know, presentations, and a lot more. Okay, even like internets, blogging, and you know, writing on the internets, and maybe coding. Yeah. So right now I'm also like learning, still learning. Yeah.
Ethan, can we take the question? Maybe I get Thomas and Robin to answer that question on the animals coming to town. You know, we have this joke that we got a tiger,
Okay, sure.
we got a cow.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the next animal coming to town, you know.
Okay, let me ask the question.
Yeah.
Right. So yes. So Mr. Anonymous attendee was asking, you know, with free commissions from, you know, incoming online brokers like Mumu and Tiger, and even some on maybe Robinhood is even coming, right? How are, you know, the stockbrokers actually coping? Right. Open question.
So
Thomas and Robin, go first.
maybe I just say, price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Yeah, I mean, the key thing is to, I mean, at the end of the day, not just this industry, any industry, any product, you need to deliver a certain amount of value that the client appreciates. So I guess we just keep it short, but you know, if you can deliver value, you know, it makes sense to the client. I would assure you there are many clients who are willing to part that. I mean, I wouldn't say support you, but as I say, if you're delivering something to them and they appreciate, they understand, they can use it, they don't mind paying more, right? I mean, those accounts that is discounted, of course, by and large is they angle themselves as a DIY account. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, I think it's fine. Yeah, but I did mention to Lisa probably about a year back or so, is that I see myself as a sparring partner. Many of my high net worth clients, they are very sophisticated investors. They know what they're doing, but sometimes they want somebody to come in and you know, I call it a sparring session, you know, and then we exchange our views, inflation, commodities, anything. And we double check on each other and say, okay, are we on the right track? And then sometimes investment is not just about right or wrong. You know, a lot of things about sentiment, and sometimes at the heat of the bull market, at the peak of the bull market, you get carried away. And Thomas come along and say, hey, Mr. Klein, I think we have to be a little bit cautious. You know, your Mimi stocks, your specs, all this, we got to be a little bit cautious. Yeah, I think it helps. It really helps. That's my anger. That's my anger, you see?
Yeah.
Robin, you got anything to add, Robin, on that?
Yeah, I think you know, in the end, right? In the end, I think we have to face the reality, and the reality is about dollar and cents. All right. So you have Momo and your Tiger almost close to nothing, and we are charging a commission. All right. So let me just give you a. I mean, for me, you know, I do soul searching all the time, and the soul searching is you know, I am charging some money. All right, and the client pays some money for my service, and I'm asking what service can I deliver that Tiger and Momo cannot deliver. All right, so I have a live chat, Telegram chat that I always tell my client it is more valuable than anything. I come to work at 8 o'clock. I leave my office at maybe about 10, 11 o'clock. All right, do a lot of research. By the time they wake up in the morning, by the time my client wake up in the morning, they already have everything they want to know. What the previous day the market has done, you know, what sector is in play, you know, what stocks they are looking at, what is the company news. I mean, if you are an investor, you'll take hours to do those kind of things. All right. And so I am exchanging my time for all of you out there. All right. And so I put them on a chat. All right. And if you are a client, you get into the chat, and these are the service that we provide. And I mean, it is fair that if we provide a service, we will need to make a living too, right? So yeah, so that's what I do. And let me just quote you a very touching story. All right. I mean, not story, an incident that just happened about a month ago. All right. So as you know, I just went into unit trust, all right, FA, and a client of mine came to buy a unit trust from me. All right. I really don't know, I mean, who he is. And I spoke to him, and I was shocked. And I asked him, what do you do for a living? He said, I am a financial advisor myself. And I said, boy, you know, you are a financial advisor, so you could have just bought the unit trust, right? He said, Robin, you know, I've seen your work, and I made money from your work, and I think that, you know, I should, even as a financial advisor, you know, to encourage you in your work to continue to this work. I want to give you that business, although I can do it myself. Yeah. And yeah, you know, so that was something that was, you know, that encouraged me in this journey. Yeah.
Thanks. I just want to add on to why I want to take this question is definitely we have to fight. We can't be too way off, that's for sure. But like what Thomas and Robin have mentioned, even the soul searching, right? You go back to really what we stand for. We want to provide high tech. We also want to provide high touch. And there is value, and we strongly believe that if you really provide the value, the service, client is willing to pay. Like I said, right? So I guess that is what we are doing. Sure, they are coming to town. We also will have to compete, cannot be too far off, but we have to complement with really the service, right? The availability, the accessibility that we provide to the client, and that comfort, right? Like Thomas says, certain things is beyond money, right? That sparring session, that engagement, like Robin's story as well. Yep. So that's why we decided we will take on this question.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Robin, and thanks, Thomas. So, and Andy and Thomas. So I think you guys are being veterans in industry, and you guys are definitely experts at in the markets, right? So I think without further ado, I think this is the last question we're going to take. Maybe Lini can flash the slides. So if you guys have any questions or any inquiries about the career progression and the career opportunities in Phillip Capital, please take this down. Take a phone out, scan the QR code as well. All right. So with that, I thank all our speakers, Lisa, Andy, Thomas, and Robin. Thank you for your time, and we will see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you to participants as well. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.